Hello friends, my name is Melanie and I'm here to do a land acknowledgement before we start our program. We acknowledge the land because it's important to know where we are and who we share space with. Are you ready? Haudenosaunee, Mississauga, and Anishinaabe nations came together with all their relations. Living together, they had a united wish to share the land and waters in peace, like one spoon with a dish. Now many Indigenous families, Métis and Inuit too, live here in treaty agreement with me and you. In the spirit of peace, friendship, and mutual respect, we protect each other and the land, which we should never forget. Thank you, friends. Enjoy your program.
Hi everyone, I'm Heather from Toronto Public Library. Welcome to Summer Wonder at Home. Today we'll be exploring a creativity challenge called Making High-Flying Kites. Let's get started. I flew this kite outside this morning. I made it myself using some newspaper, thin sticks, yarn, streamers, and tape. Kites have a very interesting history. Long ago in ancient China, people used to use kites to send their wishes for good fortune up into the heavens. And in countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan and other Asian countries, people have kite battles in the sky for fun and sport. They coat their kite strings in powdered glass and try to knock other kites out of the sky. You might have also heard that Benjamin Franklin once tied a key to a kite and experimented in a lightning storm to learn about electricity. And the Wright brothers also experimented with kites to help develop the airplane. Today, we often use kites for fun and recreation, like these people having some fun with a kite. You might have seen some very large kites down at the beach, like this one. And some kites are so large that they can even carry people. What size kite will you make today? You can design and build your own kite using supplies that you have at home. This is a fun activity to do together as a family. To make your kite, you're going to need some light materials because gravity will be pulling your kite down. Here are some light materials that I found in my home. I found some wrapping paper, a plastic bag, newspaper comics, tissue paper, a plain sheet of paper, and a math worksheet. Which of these do you think I should use to make my next kite? How about you? What light materials do you have in your home? You're also going to need something straight and light to make the frame of your kite. I use these thin sticks, but I also found a long piece of bamboo, a skewer from my kitchen, and this thick wire. I wonder if this wire will work or if it will bend in the wind. Here's another kite I made. I made this bird kite with only one sheet of paper. It doesn't have a frame, but it does have a tight fold that acts as a frame. For this kite, I was worried that it would be weighed down by regular yarn, so I used this thin thread instead. When you're designing your kite, it helps if you know about the 4 forces acting on kites. So here they are. The first one is gravity, which will pull your kite down to the ground. Then there is lift. When wind blows over the top of your kite, it creates lift. If the lift is greater than gravity, then your kite will rise. Next, there is drag, which slows the kite down. You might have felt drag if you ever walked into the wind with your coat wide open. Did you get slowed down by the wind? That was drag. And finally, there is the tension in the string. You'll feel the tension when you're pulling on your kite string. But if while you're flying your kite, you feel the string start to loosen and you watch the kite start to fall, that's when you can pull on the string to increase the tension and watch the kite rise again. When all four forces are in balance, you'll see your kite floating peacefully in the sky. When I first flew my bird kite, the forces were not in balance. My kite was spinning around and around. I decided to add this tail to the kite. That increased the drag, it slowed my kite down, and then the forces were more in balance. It flew much more peacefully. I think I'm going to make a change to my diamond kite as well. I'm going to add a second string here, like a harness, like so. That will keep my kite flying at a steadier angle in the sky. I think that will stabilize the lift of the kite. I found some of my kite building ideas from looking at books about kites. You might want to borrow a book about kites from the library. What shape will you make your kite? Will you add a tail for drag or a harness for stability, like me? How big will your kite be? Keep the four forces in mind as you draw out and work on your design. Have fun flying your kite. Make sure you fly it away from trees or power lines. You might also want to wear some gloves so you don't hurt your fingers when the string's unwinding very quickly. Parents and caregivers, you can help fly the kites too. To start flying your kite, it's helpful to have someone like a grown-up hold your kite about 20 paces downwind while you hold onto the kite's string. Then they can let go of the kite when they feel the wind start to lift it out of their hands. You can experiment with this. Is it easier to get liftoff when you're holding the kite or when a tall person is holding the kite 20 paces downwind? We would love seeing what you've made. Ask your parent or caregiver to take a photo of your kite and share it with the Toronto Public Library on our Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. They can use the hashtag TPL Summer Wonder. I hope you enjoyed today's creativity challenge. Remember, we'll be releasing a new challenge every 2 weeks throughout the summer. Check back soon for more Toronto Public Library Summer Wonder at Home programs. Bye for now.